This video is sponsored by Nebula. For the longest time, projectors have been thought of as kind of the ultimate way to get a great home theater experience without having like a giant thing up on your wall. And while that is certainly true, Nebula is taking a different approach with the newest projector, the Mars 3. So instead of using this strictly inside, Nebula wants you to take this with you outdoors and bring it wherever you want. Before I tell you all the places you can take it, let me do my favorite thing that I've been doing now for many years. Say thank you. Thank you for being good people, kind people, supporting the channel for all these years. Give you a chance to win $500, open to anyone in the world. Leave me a comment down below. Let me know what you would do with your Mars 3. Tell me a dad joke. Just give me a wave emoji. Say hey. But be sure to leave your social handle so I can contact you if you win. Let it run for 10 days, open to anyone in the world. So if you've seen Nebula's projectors in the past, this might look not that different than what we've seen before. But looks, like most things, are deceiving in absolutely every way. This projector is packed with a ton of features and relatively new tech. So with this, Nebula set out to solve, I think, the 5 biggest problems with projectors. So image brightness, power, audio, and ruggedness. And I think they nailed all of these points here. So in terms of image quality, perhaps the most important one, they can give you down to a 20-inch and all the way up to a 150-inch display. The 20-inch is interesting, you might think why, but theoretically you can use this thing as like a monitor even, which would be kind of wild. But that is a gigantic range. Usually projectors don't let you project image that's small. It's meant to be portable. You don't know what situation you're gonna be using it in, so having that flexibility, I think, is nice to have. Brightness is another gigantic pain point with projectors. It's been one of the main things I think holding them back for, I guess, now decades. But especially portable ones. The Mars 3 has 1,000 ANSI lumens, which is a ton for a projector like this. And really what it means is in practice, you don't have to wait for it to be completely dark to actually enjoy whatever you're watching. Plus automatic brightness adjustments based on ambient lighting, so you always have the best image possible. Now it's going to project a 1080p image, so it's not 2K or 4K, but it will support HDR10 and is running Android TV 11, so you can watch all your favorite content that you want straight out of the box. So we set this up in a bunch of different scenarios, and in typical Nebula fashion, it always looks some version of good. Now you're going to get the best looking picture when it is dark. That's just the nature of projectors. But if you want to watch this outside, noon, while you are camping, you'll still get a very good looking image that is not washed out and will be plenty bright for you to enjoy. And that is about the best compliments that I can give to a projector like this. The viewing experience is great, but equally important is the audio experience. This is going to be a one projector for everything. The speakers have to be good. Now you can obviously set up your own theater options if you want, but if you're using the speakers inside, you're going to get a 40-watt 3-speaker system that supports Dolby Digital Plus. Speaker system also gets a pretty great listening experience for almost every direction, so anybody watching it can enjoy it, whether you're on the side or behind it. Design-wise, I think it's pretty clear Nebula has figured out a design that works well across their projectors. It's kind of like a box with a handle. It makes sense for what this is meant to be used for. With the design of the projector aside, setting this thing up is incredibly simple, as most Nebula projectors have been. Underneath, there is sort of a stepless folding bracket that folds down with you in the projector wherever you need, without needing to bring a separate stand and tripod. It also has autofocus, keystone correction, and screen fit, all built in to automatically adjust the screen for a perfect viewing experience, meaning honestly, you just turn it on and it's going to adjust itself. It doesn't need time to sort of dial in a focus, it can do all that for you. It's hard to be portable if you constantly have to be plugged in. Nebula is actually an Anker company, and because of that, you know they got a good battery inside. This one is 185 watt hours. You can use this thing to power pretty much everything remotely. So this thing can completely be off grid, no cords needed. And that battery is going to let you watch for up to 5 hours at 300 lumens. So enough for a few movies, even maybe a game or two. There's also a power indicator right on the handle that lets you know how much battery you've left, so you can always sort of stay on top of it. One of my favorite small features of the battery is that it also supports charging out. So you have to charge your phone, for example. You could charge your iPhone 14 times and that's handy in situations when you might be running out of juice. If you're off grid, the projector can kind of get you back up and running. Also, since you might be using this while camping, and since it's portable, Nebula included a camping light on the back. This gives you 3 different brightness levels and a really nice warm glow. So you can move around and see what you need. Or if you have a projector on the table, you can light everything up while watching a movie. It's kind of a cool thing to have. And maybe the most important for using this outdoors is weather protection. And luckily, it is IPX3 waterproof and drop proof, so you can use it anywhere you want. If it rains, you can still enjoy your movie, and if you drop it, don't really have to worry. So Mars 3 is by far Nebula's most portable projector, but it's not their first. Talked about it on their channel a few times before. They also offer this guy. This is the Capsule 3. This is a really tiny portable projector that features a ton of the same things as the larger Mars 3. So in this Coke can design, you get a ton. There's a 1080p laser projector that can project 120 inches, 300 lumens of brightness, which is pretty impressive for something this small. And because it's meant to be portable, you also have speakers built in. It's got an 8-watt audio system that also supports Dolby Digital Plus. And most importantly, there's a battery built in that let you watch for about 2.5-ish hours without recharging. Both of these portable options are great, but serve different purposes. And I think if you want something that is ultra portable or lightweight, Capsule is an incredible way to go. It lets you get a good viewing experience, but it won't take up much space in your car or bag. But if you want to have the best viewing experience and still have that portability, Mars 3, talked about in this video, is going to be your jam. Offers a really compelling package that you really can't beat. There's been a lot of projectors that you could use outdoors, but this is the world's first truly outdoor projector that is meant to go with you as you kind of explore the outdoors. It's an awesome companion for a camping trip, for a weekend away, or for that van life you've been debating for a while. So whichever of these works best for you, you're getting a projector that's going to give you a ton of features. In fact, it's something you can easily take with you wherever you go. Nebula is a company that's been around for a while, making some of the best projectors for use cases out there. And if your use case is portability with a ton of extra features, especially when it comes to the battery, the Mars 3 is an incredible way to go. If you want something lighter, then the Capsule 3 has you covered. Whichever way you want to go, if you want to check out the projectors from Nebula, I'll put a link to them down below.